Locally owned Murfreesboro, the podcast, the people and the stories behind what makes Murfreesboro matter.
Where we get to know the people you need to know in and around the borough. With your hosts,
Marissa Callie
and Missy Lay.
Welcome back to Locally Owned Murfreesboro, the podcast. I'm Marissa.
I'm Missy.
Together we are
Marissy! Wow, that's been a minute.
That was really on sync.
That was good. That was for you. That was for you, public. And Kenzie, that was for you.
Yes. So we have another guest in studio. Thank you for being here. Rachel with Siege Technology Solutions. Is that the full name? Cool.
Siege Technology Solutions.
Welcome.
That's it. Thank you.
All right.
Good to be here.
So we got a girl. We're talking about STEM. I just feel like I want to flex.
Yes.
Let's flex.
What
Let's go, girls.
What is Siege Technology Solutions?
So what we do, we started out as created an agency management system for independent insurance agencies, and that's how we got our start. But actually this last year, we've really morphed into doing a lot of custom build-outs, custom projects for companies. We do a lot of database design, process automations, process management, and a lot of custom build-outs for things if companies need help with their processes that we can come in. And I've got all of our team is in-house. Our staff is in-house, so.
She said one of my favorite words, processes.
Yep.
Love good processes.
Me too. But process automation, I think, is very interesting because I think people get scared about automation because they want to have the control.
Right.
But what's the benefit? What is process automation? Maybe elaborate a little bit on that.
Well, and there's a couple of different ways that we can help companies with processes. In my mind, there's two different types of processes. You have your human processes when you have, the steps that you want your employees to make sure that they follow, to make sure you provide a customer experience that you can control to an extent.
Right.
So you've got your human processes that you can force through technology in a way. And then you've got your computer automation processes, the ones that can be trigger-based, date-based triggers or action-based triggers that can automate different processes. So there's, in my mind, whenever we approach working with a company, we have two different aspects to look at when we're talking about processes.
Wow. So like you turn the computer on and it senses it's somebody's birthday in your database, so it automatically sends an email.
Right. You can send an email, of course, with technology today. If you want to record your own version of a happy birthday video or a happy birthday text, voice message that you can send out. There are all different things you can do with technology today besides just your static emails. I've seen some really cool ideas go out that really make an impact because, it.
Yeah, I just realized I now want to get a voice automated text from my insurance agent, Kenzie Keene, when it's my birthday.
Yeah, a video.
Yep.
A custom song.
A custom song from Kenzie Keene. Okay, we're going to get some processes down. I love it. But it's all about streamlining those processes to free up the time to actually deal with the clients.
Right. It helps free up your time, and it also standardizes your client experience. So clients know what to expect from you, and you know what clients are going to receive.
Yeah, that's
a lot of
Chick-fil-A.
I think a lot
paradigm.
of times, yeah, true. I think a lot of people may not understand that they have the ability to automate certain things or set up processes that can streamline things. So how does that conversation start with you and the people that you work with?
Sure, because a lot of people, especially if you're dealing with smaller companies or startup companies, don't have processes. It's just trying to survive day to day.
Reactive.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But to really be able to automate and save energy and save time and save resources, if you can sit down and really think about what your process is, what your steps are, and you just take it, we try to guide our clients through step by step from start to finish. You say, okay, so how do you approach trying to find new clients? Well, then what's your first interaction like with your client? How and you may have different types of interactions. You have, prospects that come in from referrals versus prospects that come in from social media. You may interact with them a little bit differently. And then you can also you take that step by step. So, okay, that's our first interaction. So then what are we going to do next? So then the next step is what? And then how do you approach that? and what kind of interactions you want to have with a client, what kind of internal items need to happen. You may have certain internal steps that need to take place that are on the backside that the clients don't see versus client interactions. So you have to really think through and take the time to think through your processes, because if you don't have a process in mind, if you don't know what your journey is, then you can't automate it. You can't automate what you don't have. So once you get that set, then you can go through and use technology and figure out ways to automate certain steps, automate certain items that can save you and your people from using their time, which is your most valuable resource, to do processes that could be automated.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. And again, it's a big word for me, processes. Like I can't even fathom trying to automate them. Like I feel like I've just got them in line. So next step would be moving towards how can we make it the same experience for the customer every time. I like that.
Right.
So we're on locally on Murfreesboro. So I want to bring it back a little bit to Murfreesboro. What's your tie to Murfreesboro?
So I've lived here for over 20 years. My business partners as well. I'm an MTSU alumna twice over. I got both my graduate and undergraduate degrees from MTSU.
Awesome.
And so we really have a lot of ties to this community and really think highly of MTSU. It was, good, very good to us.
Yeah.
And so also we're wanting to try to help build the technology community in Murfreesboro and provide those types of jobs here in Murfreesboro. And MTSU has a great computer science and information systems program and physics program. So we've actually taken the majority of our employees of our team we've pulled from MTSU from their programs there. And we've had great experiences with them, and they've done great. It gives them work experience, real life experience, while they're also continuing in their studies there. So
yeah,
that's great.
Coming from a big city, I think that was one thing that I was missing or not seeing as much here in Murfreesboro when I moved here, because it's like, it's so prevalent to have any type of tech job or women in tech or like events around tech or STEM were constant where I came from, and I don't see that as much. So we're glad you're here and
absolutely
bringing that more into, you don't have to go to Nashville
right.
to get that,
yes. Because nowadays, of course, everybody wants to work remote. Everybody can work remote. But there's something about being in person that really makes a difference. And so for us, it's been very important to try to have our team and keep our team in-house, because the collaboration is so much easier. You have that the team is connected and you feel like you really want to support each other and help each other out and work with each other. So for us, having the in-house team just really made a huge difference. And so we have the ability, an occasional work from home when need be, but the in-person collaboration just really, to me, makes a huge difference.
That's
it's
great.
Interesting because most tech companies are all remote or remote first.
They are.
Yeah, that's good. Changing the game. So, about the business, you told us how it's going. How long have you been around or in business?
So we started this whole journey of a little over 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago, is when we first started the process. So we just, launched to public market about 2 years ago. So there was a lot of development involved in what we were trying to do, especially whenever we started out with the insurance, with the agency management systems. There was a lot of back end there, doing the custom projects and things. That's, just come in from day one. But there was a lot of development on our flagship product. So
well, congratulations on making it almost 5 years. That's big.
Thank you.
That's big. What would you say as in your line of work, what is the biggest struggle that you see as a small business?
So for us, the biggest struggle with a small business, and especially when you're trying to come in and run somebody's tech, when you're trying to take over some management system to another, it's just getting that trust factor built up whenever you're a new business, because it's scary to make a big change that your entire business depends on. So trying to build trust with your potential clientele and getting someone to take the risk, to take the chance, to give you a try. So then you've got someone who can vouch for you and say, hey, that was the hardest hurdle that we had getting started, was just getting those initial clients to give us a try. So
right.
Oh yeah, that's so true. When you think about that, because I come in and with companies, I do like team building events. And they're just like, well, she looks fun. We can trust her. But with you, it's like, this is our skeletal system, if you
That's how
will.
we run our business.
It's,
It cannot
it's
break
the core
down.
part of what they're doing, and so
Right.
it has to work. It can't not work, and so that's
No pressure.
a huge. It's exactly. It's a huge, scary jump, and it's a lot of work to make those changes over. So that was huge, and that's why coming in also and doing custom build outs. Also, we can piece by piece. So that's been a little bit easier because you can come in and do a part of it to start with, and they can build trust with that one piece that you're going to help them with, and then expand from there. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
Right. And we obviously love talking about wins. So what's a win that you've had besides being almost 5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been in the growth in the customizations market, getting those first big clients in and then having the additional big clients come in. So we've had several larger projects come in that have been a lot of fun, that have been a lot of development. But for me personally, it's not exactly a business win per se. But the part for me that's been most rewarding is actually seeing our team develop our guys, because we do have so many young guys that are in college from MTSU, but seeing them develop and grow over the years, that for me has been personally very rewarding and a huge win. So
yes, building that team, building future entrepreneurs. Yeah, the works. Yeah, that to me, community is a big deal for us here locally on Murfreesboro. So the fact that you're making your little family and helping them grow, kudos. That's a big win. I love it. What is one thing that you wish people knew about Siege, so that they might not already know?
The thing with Siege is we aren't just for larger businesses. The way we have set up is we wanted to be able to have small to mid-sized businesses be able to compete in today's marketplace where there's so much consolidation, and you've got these large companies that have huge marketing budgets, that have HR departments, they have all this resources. Right. When you've got small businesses that are trying to compete in today's marketplace, it's difficult. So us trying to provide a way, one, that they have access to our support, but then also that they're able to use the technology that we provide to be able to compete more efficiently in today's market. Okay. So it's not just for larger businesses, it's completely accessible. And we've tried to create an environment and a price point that the smaller to mid-sized businesses can also reap the rewards of technology.
Right.
Do you have a database software that you, like a base model that you can say, okay, here's small business, here's something you can start with? You do? Okay.
So what we have built off of, so there's all these different huge CRM platforms. So the main product is a CRM platform. A lot of people have heard of Salesforce. It's, probably the one most people have heard of, but it's not very user-friendly for small business. It's more of your enormous enterprise that have teams of engineers to develop out. So what we've built off of it actually is the Zoho platform, which they're actually the largest CRM in the world in terms of users, larger than Salesforce. They have 85 million plus users worldwide. Okay. But it's very user-friendly, and it's customizable, by just someone, on the street. You can go in and figure it out. So we can come in and we have your base product there, but it also includes 40-plus other business applications. So basically, almost the entire suite of applications a small business would need to run their business, all on one platform, one login, one place to do everything, and everything's integrated already. They're not trying to build a tech stack with all these different applications that talk to each other. It's all in one.
I love it.
So we can come in and there's your base platform that's there, which, we're an authorized Zoho reseller, so we can do that at the exact same price that you can get off the internet. So having us gives them, someone else to call if they have questions and support. But then also you can come in and have us help you customize it. You can do it yourself. But then you can also call us if you want help or want guidance or don't have the time to do it or want something custom that you can't do out of the box. Then our team is here to help provide guidance or to do those custom projects.
Yeah.
So if you're a small business out there and you're like, I need to take that next step in my experience, you need to reach out.
Yeah, like Google, from using Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel, just this let's put it into like a system, and that's kind of like that's a starting point.
What was the database thing that Microsoft had a long time ago? It started with an A.
Like Access.
Access. Yeah, I remember thinking, this is so cool. This is going to last forever. Because I'm a database nerd, so I love a good database. So
when it works.
When it works.
And this one is amazing.
Or set up properly.
Very user-friendly.
Yeah.
And customizable is the huge part of it. So
I think that's one big struggle with small businesses because of all the technology options.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh, okay, like this looks cool. Or then they get marketed to by Salesforce on Instagram and they're like, let me do that. And it's like, whoa, that's a big investment. And then they don't trust that now.
Right? Or use it well or right.
Exactly.
So it's not just a software. You're getting the support, the customization, the hand holding, if you will. Like you can do this. We got this. This is how easy it's going to be, and we're going to help you through the whole thing.
Exactly.
I love
sometimes it is about someone, the expert, coming in and just telling you what you need and setting you up and then training you on this is how you do it versus hiring an IT person, which is much more
it's like
overhead and taxes and stuff like that.
A partial IT person. It's an IT person as needed. But sometimes it's just needing that reassurance or not even knowing where to start, being so overwhelmed because of what all the possibilities are. It's just trying to figure out where to start, like where to focus. And that's a lot of what we do is come in and say, okay, yes, there's 40 plus applications included in this and all these things that you can do just within the CRM application. It can be overwhelming, but just trying to focus
Let's do
where you put your efforts. It's like, look, before you can do anything else, you really have to have this, this, and this in place.
Right.
And then start there. So you can't automate an email campaign if you don't have your email template. So what email do you want to send out? Develop that out, and then we can automate the emails to go out.
Right.
It's helping them figure out where to start and breaking it into pieces that aren't so overwhelming and so scary.
Well, and as small business owners, like most of us can attest, we do it all from HR to IT. Like we do all of it. So I'm a firm believer in staying in your lane. So if it's not your strong suit, don't just purchase a software and expect it to do the work. Get with someone who can show you the ropes of the software and use it appropriately.
For sure.
Okay, so that's my
Awesome.
100%.
That's your advice.
That's my advice
for me.
Unpaid for and unsolicited advice. I did not get paid for that.
No, I just mean like reminders. Like that's what we get sometimes when we do this show. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah. So when I listen back to this, I'm going to be like, okay, I hear you, Missy. Well, let's take a pause and hear from our sponsor. Cultivate Co-working is a welcoming community offering an alternative office space for independent workers, freelancers, nonprofits, and small business owners. Our goal is to help small business owners and independent workers grow their business and create a useful, lively network of like-minded professionals in the Murfreesboro area. Visit cultivatecoworking.com for more information. Thank you, Cultivate Co-working, for sponsoring us. And now it's time for our Cultivate Co-working This or That segment.
Thank you, Black Sheep. The choice is yours. So this is this or that. Answer rapid fire as you wish. A speeding ticket or parking ticket.
Ooh, parking ticket.
Especially in Murfreesboro, $3.
Right. I got jacket or sweater.
Jacket.
Okay.
Silly hats or silly socks.
Silly socks.
Do you? I love silly socks. Yeah. And then one just for you. Do you prefer to work on a laptop or a tablet?
Laptop.
Yep. I got to have the full.
I have to have my keyboard.
Yes. Even with my laptop, I have a separate keyboard and a separate mouse.
Yes.
I love it. Awesome.
Great. Now it's time for our Be Present Nugget of Wisdom. This is comes from Mr. Gray. I don't know how to pronounce his first name, so I am not going to say it. Build your own dreams, or someone else will have you build theirs.
Ooh.
That's,
Build your own dreams. Oh,
it's true. You either work for someone or you work for yourself.
That's right. You're building your own dreams or you're building someone else's. That's fair. If that doesn't get you excited
to work for yourself and work.
Yes. I don't know, though. I feel like I once had a boss that I was like, we're taking Normandy together. Like, I believe in you, man. I want to be that boss, though. I want to be the one that encourages people to. I want to be Ted Lasso.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
You hear that, Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
He's listening.
Yeah, and producer Trent likes to say, let's let's run through a wall. Like he gets so pumped. Let's run it. Let's do it. Let's Kool-Aid Man this thing. Awesome. Cool. Well, tell us, how do we find Siege? How do we find you guys on all the interwebs and computers?
Sure. You can find us at www.siegetechnology.com. And then we're also, of course, on Instagram and Facebook at Siege Technology.
Okay.
So
very cool. Well, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. I'm excited for our small businesses to hear that you exist. Business to business is so important in our community because we tend to want to do it all when we don't have to. And Rachel's your girl to get that figured out. So thanks for coming and thanks for what you're doing at Murfreesboro.
Yeah, and also I want to give a special shout out. If you haven't heard Murfreesboro Technology Council,
yes.
Have you heard of them? Yeah, yes. I just recently discovered them. So if you are interested in stuff like this, what we've talked about today, I think check out the next meeting because this will help bring more technology to Murfreesboro. And I think one of their missions is also to educate the students and bring more programs to MTSU. So
right, great organization.
Yeah. So to our local business owners, you do not have to do it all.
Yeah,
you got this. All right. Until next time, we will see
you later.
Bye.
Bye.
That's never gonna get old.